What's up, all you Pokemon lovers out there? So you want to know what I've been buying? Here's a few of some of my most recent buys, and some of them might surprise you. I try to cultivate a list of more expensive items, some cheap items, and items of all different languages. Tons of great cards on today's list, so with that all being said, let's get to it. So the modern Pokemon market for myself has kind of been dull. So it's actually pushed me to go look at older sets, and even as far as my childhood, like some of the vintage cards that we're going to talk about on today's list, and just cards that I simply didn't know even existed. As some of you guys may know, if you're a avid watcher of this channel, I've been dipping my feet into the Asian Pokemon market, and as of super recent, I've been buying Japanese booster boxes to open on the channel here. I'm gonna link one of these videos right around here. And to be completely honest, I've been having so much fun just experimenting in different languages. It's so cool to me how every single language has their own like little perk. For example, with Korean, there's no guarantees in most of the sets, so it can be pretty painful, but you can get great deals on these sets for around 25 bucks, which to me is the for fun, just if you want to open a lot of packs, Korean is definitely the way to go. But if you're into a more expensive, more higher quality card, then the Japanese market is there for you. But on today's list, we will be discussing singles. Not to flip or what I think you guys should invest in, but for my personal collection. I made a recent short on my very first pick, and that is the Blaine's Charizard in a PSA 6. It's like right around there, over there. This card for me has always been one of like my grail cards as a child. This card was very unaffordable back when I was a kid, or maybe it was affordable, I just don't really remember because I was so small. And I really wish that Pokemon would bring back the like trainer Pokemon combo. There's just so much potential there, and I really hope that Pokemon brings this aspect of the hobby back very, very soon. And especially if they could tie this into the anime. Recently, I've been watching Pokemon Horizons, and I've been loving the show. It'd be cool to see like a Leiko, whatever her name is, her and her Sprigatito, or a Roy and his Fuecoco. That would be such a sick card, and I think it would do well pretty much with the younger audience and with the audience in my age. Maybe even do some throwback cards of like Sabrina's Gengar, etc. Let me know what trainer pair you would like to see, because I'd love to pick your guys' brain as well. So leave your pick in the comment section down below. And I got super lucky with purchasing this card. I got on eBay. A lot of these cards on today's list I've gotten from eBay, but I got this card for around the $60 marks. I want to say it was like 56 bucks. I personally don't mind. Again, I tell you guys this all the time. I don't mind buying 6 and under. It doesn't really bother me. I put them back there, or I put them in a case. I just advise you guys not to go completely broke on getting one card that you just need to have in a 10, where if you just get in, like I said, in like a 6 or 7, you probably get 2 or 3 of your grail cards just in a lower grade. That's my personal opinion, but again, you guys can collect however you guys want. My next purchase on today's list, it's a pretty cheap one. It is the beautiful Mimikyu and Gengar tag team card, and it is in simplified Chinese. Another Chinese card, like I said, that I've been scooping up. And yeah, I scooped this one up on eBay at the $10 mark. Also, a side note, the pictures I'm using are just random pictures from eBay, so take it as you will. These aren't what I bought them at, but it is around there. I definitely feel like I missed out on the tag team era. It's just such a sick era. A lot of these cards in English are just unaffordable and pretty crazy, so it forced me again to go look at other languages. And I really like simplified Chinese and traditional Chinese. They're both really great. They have the English backing, which is super cool. I don't see a huge difference. I really recommend that you guys go look at other Asian languages to scoop up your dream cards. I obviously can't speak Chinese. I'm the type of collector that if I like the art, regardless of the language, I just need the art. And I feel like this card is a very affordable option to the much more expensive version of this card, which is next on my list. Not on today's list, but is on my recently watched list. So for my next pick, with no surprise, it's gonna be another tag team card. And this card actually has a very interesting story. I was at my local retro gaming store, and they have a small little Pokemon aisle, and they had this card in simplified Chinese for $5. And it had like I don't have the card, it's in a binder, but it has it says like tournament play backing, which was weird. And I looked it up, definitely real. Thought it was super awesome for $5. It was moderately played. You definitely can tell that someone was using it, but such a cool pickup for $5. This one right here is in a PSA 10. Still very, very affordable if you don't want to pay those crazy Japanese prices or English prices. I also already own this card in English. It's in a binder as well, but I think that this is one of my favorite tag team cards, and I actually gave this copy to my girlfriend. She absolutely adores Mew. It's one of her favorite Pokemon ever, so she was hyped. And this just goes to show how awesome the tag team era is. There's just so many strong cards that are just so cheap. And this is one of those cards where you just can't believe how affordable it actually is. So this next card is gonna be on a little bit of the higher end. And so I'm currently bidding to get this card. And if you know this channel, I am a huge full art trainer collector. This might be top 3 full art trainers of all time, and that is the Lily card right here. What makes this card super special is that it came in a gift box. A lot of the Chinese products, they have cool promos and they call them gift boxes. So if you're interested, go check those out on eBay. They're pretty affordable, probably like around the $150 range, and you get a super cool promo. And like I said in the beginning of this video, all of these different languages made me dive into different rabbit holes of what products are out there. There's so many cool products in so many different languages that just have, like I said, one set has a cool gift box that has, you know, a cool promo. This other one comes with a different playmat that we'd never seen before. So I definitely recommend that you guys just check out all the awesome Asian languages that come with product that us English collectors have really never seen. And I really hope that I've encouraged you guys to look at other languages, because for me, when I first started this channel, I just wanted to get you guys the best deals, but I'm kind of going more towards showing you guys the world of Pokemon in all different languages. I think that English is getting really expensive and you don't really get the best bang for your buck. The pull rates are getting worse, and the amount of money that you have to spend to just get a basic character rare is pretty crazy. So I've personally just been opening a bunch of Japanese because there's some guaranteed stuff in there. And same thing with Korean, it's just cheap and you're almost always gonna get a few character rares and maybe, you know, a few banger cards. But at those low prices, you're just going to have fun and enjoy the cards and opening experience. And you don't have to spend an arm and a leg to open up some Pokemon cards like you do in the English market. I know times are tough for a lot of us out there, and this Pokemon collection hobby is not a cheap one. It's not that I'm giving up on the English market, I'm just phasing out just a little bit, or maybe just pulling back for the meantime. And recently I've been watching a few of the Temporal Forces openings. It looks like they made the pull rates even worse for that set. So I don't really know the future of the English Pokemon market as it stands. I will definitely make a video on that maybe next week. I gotta let this Temporal Forces news just settle before I can really give my actual statement. So this next card falls into the cheaper, it's pretty cheap category, and it's another one of my childhood cards that I freaking loved. I mean, look at him smiling. It just brings back nostalgia, pulls on my heartstrings. And this one is the Pichu from, I think it's Neo Genesis, I believe, but it's in Japanese. I've been buying a bunch of Japanese vintage, big surprise. It seems like Japanese vintage has been cooling down, and a lot of these Japanese vintage are cheaper than English vintage, so that's awesome. I am stoked. I like the back, just the back of the Pokemon card in Japanese vintage, cool. I don't know, side rant, but when I first saw Pichu as a little kid, I was amazed that Pikachu had a pre-evolution. One of the coolest things ever. I was so hyped, so this card means a lot to me. This card right here just embodies my childhood, and it just holds a special place in my heart. So for this price, I got it at 10 bucks, but the one I have up on screen, I think it's around 20 bucks. You could find it for around there, raw, and it's just a must own. I think if you're an older collector like myself, Neo Genesis and Neo Discovery just was such a good time in Pokemon. So having one of those cards to pull on your heartstrings is a must own. This card is awesome. Go pick it up. And if you want it graded, it is very affordable and one of those higher grades, like 8, 9s, and 10s. So I hope that this list also shows you guys that there are tons of affordable Pokemon cards for your collection. You don't have to buy the crazy high-end cards, the alt arts, etc. to just have a great collection. You could fill a binder with tons of these $10 cards and still have a cool binder to show off to your friends. There's tons of fun to have in this Pokemon collecting space. You just have to budget your spending habits just right. So that's why you need to follow channels like this to get you guys the best deals and show you guys where and what to buy. And speaking of not cheap Pokemon cards, we got our next pick on today's list, and this is a card that I've been watching for some time. I pretty much check this card almost every day on eBay to find a good deal, just like I did with the Blaine's Charizard. I'm trying to snipe this card at around the $100 mark, but it's probably not going to happen. This card is the 1998 Japanese CD promo Charizard. Just amazing card. One of my favorite cards of all time. I go back and forth with Charizard cards. I think a lot of the Charizard cards like early on were amazing, but we got these new ones that are just not really that cool. So I sometimes forget how much I love Charizard. But this card right here, I think this is the best one. I think it's better than the base art Charizard. You guys can argue with me in a comment section down below. Tell me if I'm crazy for saying that. I'm trying to scoop this card up in a PSA grade at 6 or 7, but I haven't found too much. I just see 9s and 10s for this card, which is cool, awesome. And I also love the vintage like PSA slabs, like the little graded grades. I think it's, I don't know, just has a certain feel to it, and I definitely need it in that vintage slab. This Charizard card to me just screams nostalgia. And maybe that's why I like it so much. But this one right here is a card that I am just obsessing over and I can't get off my mind. All the cards on today's list, like I said, I do own. This is the only one that I'm watching to buy. I've seen tons of PSA graded cards in the 9s or 10s at around the $250 to $300 mark, and that's just a little out of my budget for the meantime. But I'm not gonna get up, and I will report back to you guys if I buy this card soon. And if you like these top picks, best of lists, best of videos, I'm gonna leave another one right around here. Thanks again. If you loved today's video, consider subscribing, and until then, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.